Okay, so I've logged into my Salesforce developer account, and right now I will start the process of setting up different record types for different types of leads. So we're going to be staying in the lead object. And as I log in, I'm starting at the home page. So the first thing I want to do is set up my custom fields for the leads. I'll be setting up custom fields, and then my page layout, then my lead processes, and then finally I'll get to the record type. So let's start with fields. Going into setup here, going to my quick find search box, I'm going to type in field. And from there, I'm going to scroll down. And I'm in the leads object again, so I'm going to do fields, click on that. And here is where all my standard fields are for my lead. And then if I keep scrolling down, you'll see some custom lead fields that I've created. So I have breed here. Again, we talked about that previously. This is one that would be applicable to both dogs and cats, again, which I'm selling to. And you can see here that I added some values in here. American Shorthair Cat, Bengal Cat, Bulldog, Collie, Lab. So I have my 2 cats here, and then I have my 3 dog types here. So for breed, I would want to see the cat types and be able to choose from them on the cat lead record types, but I would not want to see the dogs. So we'll get into that shortly. I just wanted to show that to you. Clicking back, catnip, obviously, I would want that field on the cat record type. Eats goldfish, I would want that on the cat record type. And leash color, that would be something that I would want on the dog record type. So those are just all kind of just random categories I came up with, and you could come up with your own, however you would want to tailor it so that you could have different fields, excuse me, on the different record types. So next up, after I create those, and after I create my custom fields, the next thing I want to do is go to page layout. So I've typed that into the quick find box and I scroll down and you can see here page layouts underneath the leads object. Click on that. And you can see here that I've created 2 different page layouts. I have my cat page layout and I have my dog page layout. So looking at this here, starting at the dog page layout, I'm going to click edit just so we can pull it up. And I've already created this, and I'll walk through if I were going to create another one after, but I just want you to see what it looks like in the end. This is my lead detail record page here, my lead record page. So leash color is one that I've added in, as well as breed. So I'm going to want breed on each of the cat page layout, as well as the dog page layout. So I have it on the dog, and we'll just check here in a second if I have it on the cats as well. But I also want leash color. So let's flip over. I'm going to save that and go back. And let's check out the cats. Again, breed should be on there. Scrolling down. And I have breed set up. That's perfect. And as well, I don't have that leash color because that belongs to a dog. But I do have catnip and eats goldfish. Those belong to a cat. So if I was going to be selling to a cat, I'd want those listed on my lead record type. So I'm going to click save. And I'm just going to show you if I were going to create a new page layout, say I also sold to a different type of animal. I sold to a lion as well, and I wanted to create a lion page layout. I could use the existing page layout here. I could pick dog because it's set up somewhat of how I want it to be. Page layout name, put lion in, click save. And from there, I would get rid of leash color because I wouldn't need that. I'd drag that up here. I wouldn't need breed for lion, just assuming I don't. And then if I had any categories that I wanted to include with the lion, I could drag those down here as well, and that would be my lion page layout. So that's how I created those 2 layouts, and that's how you would create if you wanted to create an additional one for your organization. So next up on the process is the lead process. So typing that in, And I'm going to click here, right underneath leads again. So I need to assign the staging as well to these two different record types. So I've done that here. And if I click on, let's just look at sales to dogs. And these fields should look familiar. I didn't create anything customized. These just kind of come out of the box here. But there's four, 1, 2, 3, 4 different stages for the dog. So if I'm selling to a dog or whomever you sell to, open, working, close, and close not converted. Those are my 4 stages. If I had different ones, I could add them in. If I wanted to remove them, I could do that as well. But those are the stages that I use. So I'm going to click save. So I have 4 for that. And let's see what I set up for cats as well. I only have 3 for cats. And then this is just an example I use with the examples they have already out of the box. So I didn't create anything here, but I only have 3 for cats. So that will come into play later. And I'm going to click save. And if I were going to create a new one, just so you can see it, lead process name, again, let's use that lion example again, just kind of creating it. I'm going to base it off of the master list. Good practice is to always fill in your description so that people can see what you're doing if they're looking at it down the road. And here are the 4 here. Let's say for lion, I only have 2 stages here. I could do that. So that's just an example. I click save, and then I would have a lion. It looks like it's saved it here for me. But that was just an example so you can see how to build out your own lead processes. And finally, let's look at record type. So if we're pulling up record type, I'm typing that into the search box on the left-hand side, and I find leads, record types. And again, you can see how everything that I've typed in here would be applicable as well to these objects as well, but we're just sticking with leads for the time being. So again, I've created cat, dog, and then for another example, I created fish. Here are my 2 record types that we're dealing with today, cat and dog. Let's start with dog. I'm going to click on this. And you can see this is where I'm able to select that breed pick list field and the values that are within that field. So if I'm looking at breed here, I'm going to click edit. And you can see this is where you're able to select for the dog, at least, which values will appear. I have bulldog, collie, lab. I'm going to click save. I like that, how that's laid out. I'm going to click back, to the cat. I want to just check this cat out as well. So when I click on this cat breed, I should see just the cats. That should be how I set it up. And I did. The selected values are American Shorthair cat and Bengal cat. Looks good to me. The available values, because this is from the master list, includes the dog, so I could always add that in, but I don't want to do that for the cat record type. And from here, I'm just going to click back through. I just want to get back to the different lead record types. So one thing I could do, just to kind of walk through the example for you so you can see it for yourself, if I was going to create a new record type, and again, I'm just going to stick with our previous example of lion here, the lead process, I'm going to select lion. I didn't actually build that out, so I'm hoping this works for the example. In description, I'm going to put lion. I'm going to mark this as active. And again, I'm just creating this record type as an example to show you how I did it. And enable for profile, this is where you're able to select the security on this. If I wanted, let's say your solution manager never has to deal with a lion record type. Maybe I don't need to enable this for their profile. That way they don't have to see it. Maybe you want to be selective with that. You could always pick these. I'm just going to enable all of it. If you wanted to make it a default, so say for instance the standard user always wants the lion lead record type to appear, then you can mark that as default for them. They're still able to switch into other record types they have available, but that's just going to be more efficient where they can just select that and move forward. So I'm not going to mark a default for anything. And then here, this is your page layout. You can select the page layout that we already created. I'm going to select lion page layout. And I did the same thing for dog and cat when I was making those record types. I selected the dog for the dog record type and cat, and so on and so forth. And click Save. All right, and that's how you create the record type. So let's take a look at this in practice. I am going to click on the Leads tab. And from the Leads tab, I'm just going to go this way here. I'm going to click on Create New and do a new lead, create a new lead. And you can see here, I have my cat record type, dog record type, fish, and lion. So fish is one I created separately, lion we created together, and the cat and the dog is from our example today. So let's say I have a new sales lead, a cat called in and wanted to buy something from us. I would click on the cat record type and click Continue. I want to add this cat to our database. Type in the first name of the cat. I'm just going to do the required fields. Mr. Cat, Mr. Cat's company. And it's going to be open. And I'm just going, it's a good thing to show here. Those are the 3 sales stages that we selected for cat. The dog record type should have 4. And we'll check on that in a little bit. And for breed, we should see just the 2 cat types that we selected. And we do. So let's say Mr. Cat is a Bengal cat. And click Save. And you can see here, I've added this field here. This is a standard field that you can choose to add into your record types. That just shows you the lead record type is cat. So that way, as a salesperson, in this instance for lead, I'm able to see, okay, I'm in the cat record type. Now let's do an example, one more example for the dog. Let's say a dog called in and wants to buy product from us. First name, dog, last name, dog, company is dog 2, and I'm just going to mark these as dog 2. I'm just not sure if I've already created, I don't want to do a duplicate. So lead status, we have the 4 here, 1, 2, 3, 4. That looks to be our sales process for the dog sale. And breed, I should just have the dog types. And I do, Bulldog, Collie, Lab. And the leash color field, that is only on the dog record type, it's not on the cat, and vice versa with, I think it was catnip and eats goldfish for the cats. So I'm going to click Save here. And now you can see here, lead record type is dog. And I'm only seeing the dog fields. Now, this is just an example of, it's a goofy example with using dogs and cats, and hopefully it's not too confusing, but you can take this and implement it and create custom fields and completely customize your Salesforce platform to meet the needs of your organization and be more efficient with sales or customer service so that you're only seeing and using the data that you need to for a particular record type. Thank you for watching, and I hope you reach out to CRMD to set this up for your platform. Thank you.